So I actually saw this movie yesterday, but I apologize, but I had a midterm that day, this today, so I had to put off the review a little bit. So, anyways, I saw Prometheus and Snow White in a drive-in. So I'm gonna start with the first movie I saw, and then the second one, but in order. So, first one I saw was Prometheus, and I have to say, I had high expectations, which was it's already a bad sign because I tend to not have high expectations for a movie, even through a trailer, I try to like prepare myself if it's like a bad movie. But Prometheus, I had high expectations because one, the Alien series has not been doing so good with movies, with movies such as AVP and all that. So it really needed this reboot, like how Predators like rebooted the Predator series or helped regenerate the regenerate interest in the series, because the series has been a little uh, has been criticized. Has been There's a lot of criticism to the Alien series right now. So Prometheus, I know the Prometheus is not supposed to be an exact prequel. It's more like it expands on the mythology. So it's more of a spin-off, but either way, it's supposed to be that movie that's supposed to like save the Alien series or whatever. I'm sorry, my eyes are. Anyways, so Prometheus. What I think about this movie? I thought. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, I didn't hate this movie. I liked it, but I'm those people who feel like they've been disappointed. And starting with the good points, I mean, there are a lot of good points in this movie. Like the visuals look great, the music sounds great, it looks great, and compared to the other Alien movies, it's actually not bad. But and the acting is great too. Blah blah blah. Well, yeah, the acting's great. It's just I feel Michael Fassbender sort of like stole the scene. I mean, I don't mind him stealing the movie. It's just he's not exactly the main character of the movie, which kind of like was a little frustrating. But the lead actress didn't do too bad. I don't remember her name. I know she's from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but she didn't do bad. I'm just saying that Michael Fassbender just like was more noticeable and more memorable. Anyways, the bad part about Prometheus, the part that frustrated me about this movie is the plot. Like for this kind of movie, I was expecting a relatively like it starts out straightforward and then it gets more complicated kind of thing. Like they discover the ship and they would talk about the space jockeys and all that, but this movie made it overly complicated, and also making it worse, it was also not really focused. Like what I mean by not focused is, okay, it starts out like how I said. It starts out with they discover find these weird markings that belong to that point to some constellation, and then they go to it and they discover the space jockeys, the aliens before the aliens, and from then on the movie starts to get a little messy because I remember there was a subplot about the lead character, Dr. Shaw. She was sterile, but when she had sex with her boyfriend, she got pregnant with the alien. And I was certain that this was going to be a long-term plot point, but once she got, I mean, this spoilers. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention spoilers. But when she got it out of her, it sort of just vanished from the plot until the very end when it came back in to help out. I mean, it's those things like there's plots that go nowhere, like how Michael Fassbender's character David, he like poisons the Charlie's drink on purpose, and that's never explained. And there's also the whole plot about the space jockeys being like a military base, but they never really go into it. I mean, they mention it once, but it's a flimsy excuse. I mean, like it seems like I feel like this should have just been a mystery. Like they think it's beneficial, but then they suffer the same fate as the owners before. Like they start falling one by one, kind of thing. But it sort of goes into like the politics of the space jockeys, like how they want to destroy Earth or how they hate Earth, and it's like it gets really messy. Like I don't know, it feels like they were trying to overcomplicate it for this movie. Like I understand what they're trying to go for. They're trying to make it like they're trying to they're trying to make this open for a sequel. Like even the ending's like is like literally asking for a sequel. It's like they put these questions in this movie. Like they leave unanswered questions, um, just so that it can open up a sequel. But I feel like the questions they left behind don't necessarily have to be a question, or they don't generate enough interest in the audience to actually want to figure out what the answer to the question is. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, they had this whole plot point about the black liquid, but then they weren't really clear as to what the black liquid does. Like, apparently it dissolves you, but then at the same time, it turns into a zombie that's like that's like unstoppable. But then there was also like the thing about how it affects your DNA, and it gave Shaw a baby. It's like it's not clear what the black liquid does, but it doesn't the movie doesn't generate enough interest in you to actually figure out what the black liquid does. It's it's it doesn't really give enough foundation. I think that's what I'm going for. It doesn't give time for the audience to fall in love with these characters or figure out, or it doesn't give enough time to set up the environment. It sort of just throws you into the environment, and it expects you to um just expects you to like follow along with what's going on. It I don't it's sort of a jarring experience, but if you're able to get past the the plot, I mean, the plot's not that bad. I'm making it out to sound it's bad, but it's not that bad. It's just it's really kind of messy. So if you're able to stand through that, I mean, the movie's not bad. I'd give it a B grade. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Prometheus. So moving on to Snowland.